A busy night and morning for area firefighters with two large buildings going up in flames in separate fires. A new development in the push for a new treatment center in Oroville after the city council hears an appeal. And the FBI says a car crash into an agency fence in Pennsylvania was a deliberate act.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, the Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate today by 1/4 point and projected it would do so twice more this year. It comes as concern grows at the central bank about the health of the nation's labor market. The move is the Fed's first cut since December and lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Fed officials, led by Chair Jerome Powell, had kept their rate unchanged this year as they evaluated the impact of tariffs, tighter immigration enforcement, and other Trump administration policies on inflation and the economy. New at noon, a morning fire destroyed a building in Yuba County early this morning. Take a look. Firefighters from 3 different agencies were called out around 2 a.m. to a home on Spring Valley Road in Loma Rica. They arrived to find a 2,500 square foot garage fully involved in flames. Crews were able to keep the fire from spreading to vegetation and to the home nearby. The cause is being investigated. Another large fire, this time a barn in Glenn County. It caught fire on County Road 22, south of Orland, around 6:30 last night. You can see here the smoke that was billowing out of the barn. Several agencies, including Orland, Willows, and Artois fire departments, responded to knock down the flames and keep that fire from spreading. This is a live look from the Shasta Ski Park. Alert California camera. You can see blue skies pretty much as far as the eye can see today. For the very latest on what's happening with our weather, we turn it over to Court Klopping.
Good afternoon, Linda. That's right. And sunshine overhead. Temperatures heating up today. Today is projected to have the peak of this week's heat for the afternoon. So be prepared and make sure you're staying hydrated. Wear the loose-fitting, light-colored clothing if you're going to be out and about today. And don't forget the sunglasses. This is the live look to the west across the valley from the Deer Creek Highway camera, just up Highway 32 east of Chico. Clear skies above on the hyperlocal look at the satellite and radar. And right now, temperatures climbing pretty quickly. 86 degrees right now with sunshine and light winds in Chico. 90 degrees with modest winds and sunshine in Redding. Currently 91 degrees for Red Bluff. And 87 degrees in Orville. Now heading into this afternoon, high temperatures topping out in the mid-90s to low triple digits in the valley. Wind mostly light for the afternoon. That's the good news for fire danger. Humidity, though, down to as low as 15%. That is a concern. Dry air mass leads to easier fire starts. That's why fire danger is in the moderate range for today. If the winds were any stronger, we'd be in the moderate to high range. Linda, coming up in just a couple of minutes, I'll be breaking down how hot it's going to end up in your backyard this afternoon and a big shift in the weather pattern late this week when cooler and potentially wet weather is on the way. Coming up in a few minutes.
That's exciting news. Thank you, Court. The Chico City Council voted once again to allow people to drive on Peterson Memorial Drive in Lower Bidwell Park 7 days a week. It has been closed to vehicles, weekends, and holidays during a 6-month trial period over concerns about pedestrian safety. There has been a lot of pushback from park users, especially the disabled, and it was noted in the meeting there were no accidents in the park that justified the closure. The vote was 4-3 to return to the previous rules with the road open every day to vehicles during normal park hours. The Oroville City Council voted unanimously to deny the appeal of the Planning Commission's denial of a use permit for a proposed drug treatment facility. Aegis Treatment Centers wanted to locate a facility on busy Orodam Boulevard, but the council was concerned about the amount of traffic there and the potential impact on area businesses.
If this was our first location, second location, which we've already moved per the city recommendations, it would be one thing. But this is our third location.
Personally, I welcome this in our community, but going back to what our planning commission said, I think it's good that our staff has recommended a couple other locations, and it'd be good to work with them to find a good location because obviously drug addiction is not only rampant in California, but we all know it's rampant in Oroville.
The proposed location was on Orodam East, directly across the street from the Las Plumas Plaza Shopping Center. A call for Red Bluff City Councilman Cody Strzok to resign at last night's City Council meeting because of a comment he made on social media about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We told you yesterday, Strzok posted what he called a bad joke, saying he, quote, "at least he died doing what he loved, making sure there were guns in schools." Strzok told Action News Now he regrets the post. Cody Strzok did not attend last night's council meeting. The council took no action on the issue last night. The mayor did say Strzok's comments reflected poorly on everyone in local government. Classes resumed today at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, a week after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on the school's campus. An increased police presence is still visible there. The school has gone through a phased reopening. Staff and faculty returned Monday. A vigil for unity will be held at the school Friday. President Trump kicked off an unprecedented second state visit to the UK with a royal welcome at Windsor Castle. The trip, a mix of royal pageantry, diplomacy, and business deals, with the U.S. and UK announcing a new tech partnership. Natalie Brand has details from the White House.
A royal charm offensive as President Trump and the First Lady arrived at Windsor Castle, joining King Charles and Queen Camilla for a carriage procession. The pomp and pageantry included 1,300 members of the British military, 120 horses, and royal bands. This trip is an unprecedented second state visit, but it's also about business. This week, the U.S. and UK announced a new technology partnership with joint efforts that focus on nuclear energy and artificial intelligence. U.S. tech giants, including Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Google, have pledged more than $40 billion in investments.
Tremendous opportunity in economic growth, in social services, advancing science, you name it. And that special U.S.-UK technology relationship is not something to be taken lightly.
But not everyone in the UK is embracing the relationship. Demonstrators gathered outside Windsor Castle ahead of the president's arrival.
Trump doesn't represent Britain, doesn't represent our values, and we don't agree with all the horror that he's caused to many lives.
Tuesday, 4 people were arrested after an old picture of Trump and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was projected on the royal residence. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Last week, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer fired the UK ambassador to the U.S. over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Authorities have a suspect in custody after a car crashed into a fence at an FBI office in Pennsylvania today. Investigators say the man drove at a high rate of speed toward the main gate around 2:40 this morning at the FBI building in Pittsburgh. FBI described the incident as intentional, calling it an act of terror against the agency. It says the driver got out of the car, took an American flag out of the trunk, and stuck it on the gate. No one was hurt. A close call for a man cleaning his truck windshield will show you how he narrowly escaped death. And a guest joins us next with details on an all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinner to help local youth.